Thank you so much, Chair. Good afternoon, DM. DM, do you believe your testimony here today added any value to the mandate of this committee?
Good afternoon, Honorable James. Surely, yes, you have. It's just that we are not going through the annexures that are here and all other things. Yeah, I think it has added value.
Do you think your testimony adds value towards you sort of justifying that you are keeping busy, or it adds value towards South Africans actually getting to the bottom of this?
As I explained, Honorable James, unless if you want me to go back and explain what do I do. Yes, I think it adds value. I was with you, Honorable James, at the court there in terms of the GBVF.
Minister, DM, with all due respect, I don't want us to go there today. I want to ask you, are you aware of the fact that Brown Mokhotsi was attacked in his car? That's what the socials are saying this morning. Are you aware of an incident that took place?
I was preparing to come here and I didn't watch TV or social media.
I'm just asking because I'm worried. Remember earlier on we spoke about the big fish, and we need to get to the bottom of this. And having you here today, I feel, Deputy Minister, should have maybe come at the end. We need the likes of Brown Mokhotsi and those people that is distributing drugs into our communities. Do you agree?
I thought in terms of the terms of reference, they point out to you who need to be here and who need to not be here. And I hope, Honorable James, you are not saying because I'm not a small fish, I'm a tadpole.
No, I'm not saying anything. This is actually a very serious matter because you know what, sitting here, hailing from a community, just this weekend, 9 people were gunned down in Reiche Park. Mothers were shot, assassinated in their heads. The people that are embroiled in this should have been on the scene, assisting our communities and ridding our communities of crime. Minister, you have continuously here today, you have shown us your busy diary and showed us that every day there's something in there. Do you think, would you agree with me that when you don't have a coordinated approach towards a certain goal, you can just be keeping busy doing absolutely nothing and there's no impact for South Africans on the ground? So do you agree with me that keeping busy does not necessarily translate to an impact that will favorably respond to South Africans in terms of the crime patterns unfolding in our communities?
I think it depends what you mean.
I'm saying, Minister,
when you say you are busy,
I'm saying, DM, that when you have a deputy minister, the three of you in my thinking should be working hand in hand, hand in glove towards resolving the crime issues that our country is experiencing. We have you having a full diary. We have the other deputy minister saying that he doesn't have a job, he doesn't have work to do, and we have the minister in cahoots with alleged criminals. Does that move this country forward? That is what South Africans are seeing right now. The disconnect between 3 people that's meant to be working in a coordinated approach.
I can't respond to that, Honorable Member.
All I'm asking, a DM, you are a well-learned person. Do you not agree with me as a woman and as a mother, take off your cap as a DM, that we need a coordinated approach and the 3 of you need to be working hand in glove towards putting an end
yes, I agree
to
with
the
you.
shootings in the Cape Flats, in Reiche Park, in Eldorado Park,
in Mthatha,
in Tata,
yes,
everywhere else in our country.
Absolutely.
And that is not happening.
It's happening.
It is not. How do you say it is happening, DM, when the deputy minister last week said that he has no duties? You have come here and you've said that you have a full diary. It is not coordinated. It is not towards a certain outcome. That is what I'm trying to show here. Yes, you are keeping busy, no doubt. But it is not serving South Africans. When you don't have a proper plan, you know that that's where the goalposts are. That's where we all need to work towards. You are ultimately failing South Africans by purely keeping busy.
Can't answer for another one.
You're not answering for another one. I'm just
But
asking
I
for
said
your
I
opinion.
agree with you that we need to operate in a very coordinated manner to deal with the issue. In particular, I said the safety of our communities and also ensuring the sovereignty of our country. Thank you.
DM, you know what? It's not rocket science that you have no involvement, really, in the crime that is unfolding within SAPS. That is just might be proven wrong at a later stage, but for where we're at right now. But also, DM, the fact that you have such a big position that carries so much weight, and you see something on social media, and all that worries you is it authentic or is it fake? And you don't probe it, despite feeling uncomfortable, despite having your own opinion. You don't stand up and you say, Minister, are you sure that this is the right step? Are you sure that we should be doing this? And you don't probe, and you just leave it like that.
I think I've answered it. The minister have the executive
I'm
authority.
asking it now, DM. I'm asking it.
You want me to
I need you to answer whether you've answered it before. I am
Yes.
asking. I need certainty and surety here today that you are the right person, that you are fit for this post, that if ever something comes to your attention and you are uncomfortable, you'll raise your voice in the interest of South Africans.
I think I've said it here and gave an example where I have personally stood up and say what need to be said.
What was that when you saw that letter? Because in your testimony, I read that you received it on social media, you saw it, and you were sort of satisfied at the fact that the minister verified that, yes, he had penned that letter, and that's where you left it.
I didn't say I was satisfied necessarily. I was just saying he confirmed that it was not. And in terms of how I felt, I think the SC asked me how I felt, and I said it how I felt.
How did you feel, DM? Because I keep on saying I'm asking the questions now.
Very disappointed.
Disappointed. What did you do with that disappointment? Did it translate to any action, tangible sort of action?
The issue here, Honorable James, is that the letter was already out. I said it here in the statement, and I'm under oath. I'm talking about the statement that I took oath of. I said by that time, where I could have, and I said it, I could have made an input, and the letter could have been different, but the mere fact that that letter was already out, you know, what was I supposed to do?
No, DM, you cannot just fold your hands and say, what was I supposed to do?
I'm not folding my hands. I'm busy.
It is disappointing to hear that, but I'm going to leave it at that. I seriously don't think that we should have called you at this stage. I don't have any more questions. I'm not going to waste time here today. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Thapa. Your time expires at 20 minutes past 3.
Thank you, Chairperson. I won't take so much time. Good day, Deputy Minister.
Good afternoon.
A lot of questions have been answered and asked, so I'll be jumping through my questions, so pardon me if it doesn't always come in a uniform way. Deputy Minister, you mentioned that the letter that was circulating was fake. And you said the Minister called you to explain that it wasn't fake, and you did try to explain this, and I did hear you. I just want to ask two parts of a question here. Why did you think it was fake? What brought you to that conclusion that it was most probably fake? And I really need to get more clarity on why did the Minister think that you thought it was fake? Because he called you and had to clarify that specific issue with you. And I would just try to understand the reasonings that you might have for him phoning you out of the blue after not consulting you to actually give the directive in the first place. Why would he feel it necessary to phone you?
On your first question, you were saying why the letter was
Why
fake.
did you feel it was
Because
fake?
it
What led
was
you
never
to that?
discussed with us, with me as a deputy minister, and involved the department that I'm deputy minister. And, you know, Then I thought it was just like all these fake things going on, misinformation things going on and everything. So I thought, that's why I thought it cannot. The second one, the reason why, I think the minister was here, he explained to this committee why he had to take that decision. And then I was listening very carefully as you were explaining to him, or probing why did he take such a decision on the 31st and then all others. So why he phoned me out of the blue? I think because of how we work, we will normally consult each other. And I think for sure he thought, why are we not asking about the letter? And then maybe that's why he phoned to say, no, it's not a fake. It's me, I've written that letter.
So just to clarify, Deputy Minister, you're saying it was important enough for him to consult you that it was fake or not fake, but it was not important enough to consult you to actually execute the decision to send out the letter. Is that what you are saying?
I can't say on his behalf, but I'm just saying from me how I felt about it.
No problem. Thank you, Deputy Minister. I do take note of the inputs that you've already given on this matter, and you did express that you were very disappointed. And I have to say this because it catches me. You say in your statement that the gap created a lack of reasonable and adequate consultation, and it gave an opportunity for the controversy to erupt. And then you say, what I would ask, that are you saying Minister Mchunu is directly responsible for the mess we find ourselves in? And I ask this specifically because you must understand, Deputy Minister, this controversy has created a situation where it has brought our portfolios, various portfolios, almost to a snail's pace. And as taxpayers' money is being spent to fund this whole thing. And so that's why I ask you your opinion on this matter is, do you link Minister Mchunu directly to this mess, as what it alludes to in your statement?
Thank you very much, Honorable Member. I don't think the letter is a mess, but I think your formation as the ad hoc committee and going through your TOR is because of that letter.
Deputy Minister, you spoke about the police, the minister acting alone, and he departed from all protocols for dealing with structures created by the IMC. You were not sure if the IMC was receiving reports. I think it's in paragraph 33 of your statement, if I'm correct. Who were the IMCs at the point of disbandment? Who was part of the IMC? And if there were none, who was he meant to consult then, in your view?
As I said, before this committee, the former minister, Minister Bekitele, said there was IMC. And then Minister Mchunu came here and said there was no IMC. I said to you, when you serve in the IMC, the president will write you a letter to say you are serving in the IMC because it involves different departments, and then it will give the lead department. So I have not received any letter to serve in the IMC. So that's why I didn't know whether it's there or not.
So you're saying you do not know if there's an IMC in place currently?
No.
So who was he meant to consult if you at this point in time still don't know if there's an IMC in place?
Remember the IMC that we're talking about consists of the ministers. Yes. And then they say the PKTT then report to the minister, is chaired by the Minister of Police, and then they report to the IMC. And I think there's a reason why they don't report to anybody but the IMC, because maybe of the sensitivity of issues they are dealing with.
So there was an IMC in place, Deputy Minister? On the 31st of December, up until that point, was there an IMC in place that the minister could go to? I'm not hearing you.
I said I don't know, because if I was a member, I would have been given a letter, so I don't know.
So Deputy Minister, from December up until now, and we're in November, considering that all of these allegations have been brought to light, it's been televised, it's in the Madlanka Commission, have you not found an opportunity to go find out if an IMC then in fact exists?
I did, and I did not get any satisfactory answer.
I will leave it there, Deputy. You hold two very critical views. The first, you write in your witness statements, I think it's paragraph 40 and 41, on the view both the Minister and the National Commissioner should engage regular consultations and engagements on matters concerning the department. You then go on to a second critical functionary should we also take each other into confidence on matters that have dire impact on the efficiency and effective functioning of the police service. Those are your two parts, and they are very, very strong views, but they read very much like criticism of what didn't happen. Deputy Minister, do you believe, and I ask you in your possible limited knowledge of the matter, that Minister Mchunu actually engaged with the National Commissioner in regular consultations in 2024 from becoming Minister?
As I said, we had a meeting where we suggested it, and then it was going on. Even now, and I even gave an example, when we go to a portfolio committee or a standing committee, the National Commissioner, as the head of the administration, then will get the right head to prepare the report, and we prepare together and go through them. So when we come to the portfolio or the standing committee, all of us are on the same page. So yes, they work together very well.
So they were consulting. Deputy Minister, then do you know if the Minister and the National Commissioner consulted specifically on the disbandment of the task team? If they were in such consultations, as you say, were you present at any meeting? Did you hear anything? Do you know of anything?
They were consulting each other.
On the PKTT disbandment?
Yes.
So do you stand that he closed the PKTT on his own volition, or do you feel that he had consulted then?
I think the issue, they've consulted each other. I think what suppressed all of us and what you must help us as the committee to get to this is why then the letter was written on the 31st.
I think that's a reason for my questioning, Deputy Minister, because I'm trying to get to that point, because we hear on one hand nobody was consulted, in the next very next instance you hear somebody was consulted. So we keep getting contradictory answers to very specific questions, and these very specific questions are easy. Was there or was there not consultation? Is there not an IMC in place? So on one hand you say there is, on one hand you say there isn't. On one hand we're saying the Minister must consult the IMC, and on the one hand we don't even know if there's one in place. And that makes the whole process difficult if we're trying to find out, and nobody, including the Deputy Ministers, the previous Ministers, can actually come with an answer. Deputy Minister, I think if you're unsure about this consultation process on this PKTT specifically, or that you're not sure about any of those type of consultations, I would say that it's quite a stark contrast to your strong views that you hold, the first critical views that I read to you about the engagements and the efficient and effective functioning of the police service, of those two, I would say, bodies working together, the Minister and the National Commissioner. And I think I will pause there, Chairperson. I wouldn't want to waste time, and I thank you for your answers, Deputy Minister.
Can I clarify that because we can't just leave it like that, as if
you're more than welcome.
I said this because I said because in terms of the letters, I think this should have happened. My strong views to consult each other and work together.
Okay, thank you so much.